What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. A new season is upon us now. Very short wait now till the beginning of the season. Arsenal kick off the season tonight against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, but the real game, the real kick-off of the season is tomorrow, 3 o'clock at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I cannot wait. FPL teams are done, season predictions are done, and that only means one thing, and that is the start of the new season. I am absolutely buzzing for it. Absolutely buzzing. We all know who we're playing. It is Southampton at home, and it's a game that we actually lost last season. When you look back, I mean, we took the lead, didn't we? We went 2-1 up with about 20 minutes to go or something like that, and ended up losing 3-2. How do you assess this game coming into it, and how excited are you for the start of the season, first and foremost?
Look, the season is nearly upon us now, and I haven't been this excited for a new Premier League season in a very long time, despite the fact that, you know, my love for football always gets me naturally excited for every season anyway. But look, the way we've gone about our summer business, the fact that Antonio Conte's at the helm and he's had time now to work with these players, and they seem to be getting better and better the more time he has with them, and especially like the more time he has with on the training pitch with them. His methods are clearly getting into the players. I'm really excited as well how the new signing is going to integrate into the squad. They should add real quality depth. It might take them maybe a couple weeks to getting starts and whatever, but I really believe that it's going to add something different to our squad as well. And hopefully the fact that Antonio Conte is here can give us that extra level of belief, whereas before under Pochettino and stuff, we had a very good team, but maybe we felt like with our players, we were overachieving and stuff like that. There was a feeling around the squad that, you know, we're doing well to be where we are. Now with Conte, it's not about, oh, we're doing well to be where we are. It's like, no, we have to be where we are. It's like, we deserve to be there. He's going to make it our mission, and that's where the mentality shift hopefully changes. Kane and Son have been here long enough now, where it's like, okay, you know, we've been in positions before where we overachieved and, you know, been in title challenge, but now it's the time to actually try and make that extra step. And there is no one better than to have Conte at the helm to make that extra step. And I'm super excited about what we can do. Not to say that I think we are definitely going to win the league, but, you know, without Conte, you just feel like there's a chance now. I don't feel like I've never felt like that with any other manager.
Yeah, but do you actually feel there is a chance this year? Because I still think like it's a bit far-fetched to think about. It's massively far-fetched. Spurs winning the league this season. I mean, you're looking at teams like Man City and Liverpool, and I think it's going to be absolutely impossible. Because even if one of them don't live up to the expectations, the other one will. If we were only like looking for one to catch one of them, I would think there's more of a chance. But because there's two of them, it's just like, how the hell does anyone put Tottenham in a conversation to win the league? I mean, when I'm looking at this season, my expectations for this season, you know, top 3 finish, go deep in the Champions League, and hopefully get a domestic cup as well. And I'll be so happy with that. But if we don't win a domestic cup and we do finish in the top 3, you know, have a nice run in the Champions League, do you think people will accept that? Because everyone's saying, oh, we have to win a trophy this year. We have to win a trophy this year.
What, people are going to want Conte out if we finish top 3?
No, I'm not saying Conte out, but, you know, accept that as a season, and, you know, be happy at the end of the season with no domestic cup and finishing in the top 3.
I think fans will be, I wouldn't say happy, but I think fans will be content. I don't think there'll be people upset about it. I think obviously it would be frustrating if we go another season without a trophy, especially with Conte here, and all those insecurities, the fact that, oh, how long's Conte going to be? Is Kane going to be happy again with another trophyless season? All these kind of things, and we need to dispel all those narratives by winning a trophy this season, 100%. But it all depends on the context. But I don't think if we you know, give a good go in the cup competitions if we just fall short and then we finish top 3, and as long as we're closing the gap, we look like we're closing the gap to City and Liverpool, I don't think anyone could really begrudge Conte and the job he's done if that was to be the case. But look, we've seen it before with Conte. Conte's performed miracles before in his previous jobs in terms of overcoming big differences from previous seasons. He took Juventus from 7th to 1st. He took Chelsea from 10th to 1st. He took Inter Milan from 4th to 1st. So I'm not saying we're definitely going to win the league, but I'm saying it's not as impossible as people might think. Like he's done it before with these previous clubs, like these big jumps for one season to the next. And even if you look at Klopp at Liverpool, one season, you know, they were finishing fourth, and the next season, bam, they were getting 90 points and title challenges. So, you know, I think as well, the fact that we have very good records under Conte against the top teams, I think we have a good template of playing against those top teams. If we can get a lot more, if we can just get more consistent, albeit I do think we're already pretty consistent against the other teams, we just need to get even more consistent just because of the level of City and Liverpool, which I think we can do with the quality and depth we have. Look, who knows? Maybe we can genuinely have a crack at the title this season. Who knows? I don't think it's deluded to say that we can look at City and Liverpool and say we can push them. But I obviously think it's going to be very difficult. I don't think anyone should expect to win the title or anything like that. I'm just saying it's not. I think it's not beyond the realms of possibility. We can really give it a good go.
I think that, like, you're looking at Man City and Liverpool, you're looking at the points tally that it takes to win a league every season. I just can't see us getting anywhere close. I can see us getting, like, this season maybe 85, 86 points. I don't think that's anywhere near enough to go and have a tilt at the title, to be honest. And I think you're looking at probably at least one of Man City or Liverpool to go into the 90s at least. You know what I mean? 90. What did they get last season? 90, 91, 90, something like that.
Something.
And like for the past 2 or 3 seasons, at least one of them has hit over 90.
Yep.
I think it's just going to be so hard, and with Man City having Haaland now, that's going to be making it even harder. No, but I get your point. I think that when you're looking at the league, I think outside of Man City and Liverpool, you're probably looking at us as the next challengers there. But still, I think we're probably a season away. We still need a few more players to really go at it. I think, so 93, 92, and I still think that you need a better options at right wing back if we're going to go and fight for that title. I really believe that. I think the midfield, I'm happy with the midfield options with Bissouma, Bentancur, Skip and Højbjerg. I'm happy with those options. I'm happy with the options up front. Otherwise, maybe would like one more to fight with Kulusevski instead of Lucas Moura. Defence as well. I believe we need one more in defence to make ourselves a really compelling outfit to go fight those top 2 teams. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but you're also looking at a manager who's won the title with Moses and Ashley Young and Marcus Alonso and all these players.
But he wasn't going up against Man City and Liverpool.
He was. Well, maybe. He in his first season at Chelsea, he was coming up against City and Liverpool under Klopp and Guardiola, but they were a bit early on in their tenures. Now it's different, and I grant you, it's absolutely going to be very, very difficult to win a title. But he did get 93 points that season, and that's not to be sniffed at. At the time, it was a record, 13 Premier League wins in a row. Obviously, that's been broken now. Look, the City and Liverpool have completely blown everyone out the water. But now Conte's back in the Premier League. Maybe he with this new team, who knows? Who knows what can happen? Maybe that gap can be closed. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. I'm just saying it's not completely like delusional to think that it could. In my opinion,
I think we can close the gap, but I just don't think this season we can close the gap enough. I'm looking at probably potentially more next season, with a few more signings under our belt, with a few top quality signings where we can really, the way I look at it, it's a process, isn't it? So you got to close the gap a bit more this season, and then next season I think we can really go at it. Is my opinion anyway. But I want to know you guys' opinions in the comments section below. In terms of the other teams around us, forgetting looking up, I'm talking about looking down in terms of Chelsea finish above us, but I'm talking about teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United. How do you look at those teams and think about top 4 fights for this season? I
think the competition's obviously increasing with the Arsenal improving their squad. Chelsea, we don't know what kind of beast they're going to be just yet. They spent big money, but whether we don't know. Look, they could all click and also could go wrong. It's a bit of a question mark right now because they're just at the moment a bit of there's a bit of a lack of cohesion, I feel, at Chelsea at the moment. So it's difficult to put your finger on it. And then, because I think in terms of squad, they're probably stronger than Arsenal and United, but there's just something not clicking right now with Chelsea with their ownership, and the manager doesn't seem happy. So we have to wait and see how that plays out with them. Man United, obviously now under Ten Hag, they're going to start to improve, definitely start to play better than they were under Ragnick, and better than they were under the late stages of Oli. But it's going to take time. They're going to have inconsistent results. It's going to take time to perfect that system, whereas we've had 7 months already under Conte. So our system, I'm not saying we're perfect, but we're much more further down the line than Eric Ten Hag is at Man United. So I'm not too worried about them right now. I think they're going to be very inconsistent. When it comes to Arsenal, I do think they're getting better, I have to say that. But I still think we're the superior team. I still think our match winners are better than theirs, and I think we've got a better manager as well. So
we have this talk about Arsenal every year. Every year, everyone's like, yeah, they're getting better, they're getting better. Are they actually getting better at the moment? I know, look, I think you can't disagree that they are getting better because Gabriel Jesus looks like a good fit for them. Zinchenko is a good signing for them. But, there's a lot of hype surrounding Arsenal at the moment because of the pre-season they had. Is this warranted hype, or is it more Arsenal propaganda, which we see every year?
Depends hype for what? For a top 4 challenge? I mean, they challenged top 4 last season, so it's not like they're going to do any better than that. The fact is that they bottled it last season, so they should have really finished top 4 last season. So the fact if they're hyping up another top 4 challenge. That's all they're thinking about. I do think they're going to be better than last season. I just don't know if their improvement is going to be enough to overtake us and even Chelsea, because I think Jesus and Zinchenko are good signings. Vieira we don't know about, but Jesus are definitely going to improve them in terms of at least depth and stuff in Zinchenko wise, and then Jesus obviously is a better striker right now than Jesus and Aubameyang was, and Nketiah. But does it mean that them improving is going to be enough to close the gap on us? Because I think our squad has improved as well massively with squad depth, and I think we've already got in the first 11 much better players like Kane and Son. They don't have any players close to that, Kane and Son right now. So for me, I think they're right to be excited with improvement, but I don't think it'll be enough of their improvement to overtake where we're going at the moment. I think we're on a higher trajectory than they are, despite the fact that they've had a crazy pre-season. There's a good feeling around Arsenal, but you always know with Arsenal, a couple of defeats. You've got to remember the pressure's now going to be on Arteta, because last season no one expected him to get top 4, even though I think as an Arsenal manager, he should be expected to be challenging for top 4, but apparently no one expected it last season, even though they were the highest spenders. But now, having missed out on top 4 from a few points, given the fact they should have made it last season, the pressure's going to be on him. So now when he gets those few defeats, there's going to be even more pressure this season than there were last season. They'll see how they handle it.
Yeah, rumour has it Arteta's got the Arsenal team on the training pitch right now, booming out the Crystal Palace anthem, and got an eagle flying around their training pitch at the moment as well, getting in preparation for the game tonight. So 4-0 loss incoming, hopefully. But anyway, let's get into the match preview for the Spurs-Southampton game. First of all, let's look at the head-to-head between Spurs and Southampton. I did mention we did lose our last game in February last year to them 3-2, which was actually a devastating loss. It didn't actually have didn't have too much outlook in the season at the end of the day, but we could have had that top 4 sewn up so much earlier than we did if we didn't drop these silly games. And that was a really silly game to drop last year, going 2-0 up or going 2-1 up. I think it was 20 minutes to go or something like that, and then 2 goals in literally 5 minutes, wasn't it? And we're losing the game 3-2. We drew. We didn't even beat them last season because we drew at the back end in December as well. But in the last 5 games, it's a very mixed bag against Southampton. So we don't really know in terms of form against Southampton how we're going to do.
Yeah, last season they gave us a lot. Last season they gave us a lot of trouble, for sure, with the way they play, because they press quite smartly. They're a very intense pressing team, and sometimes that can catch us. That can catch us out when especially when we're being like lethargic at the back, and we're kind of playing it along. We're not being kind of intense with our passing. We're not being sharp, and we're just hanging on to the ball a bit too much. We can definitely get caught out on Southampton on a couple of occasions. last season. Definitely, especially first half in the first game at St Mary's, they were the much better team, and we were lucky to go into half time at 1-1. Although second half they had 10 men, and we should have probably won that game in the end. But we 11 against 11, we were struggling. And in the game at White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we were definitely second best, and we were lucky to be 2-1 up at the time we did score. When you get in that position, you got to see it out, but we were lucky to get there because Southampton were creating chance after chance. But what I would say is, in those two games, we didn't have Bentancur starting at least. We didn't have Kulusevski. I think Dyer was missing as well. We had, Lucas Moura starting on the right. We had Reguilon, I think, starting both games as well from the left. So a lot has changed. We've become a much more stable team. Defensively, we've become a lot more stable. And I think offensively, Kane, Son and Kulusevski have really developed that partnership between those three, which wasn't really apparent in those two games. The back three have become more settled. I don't think we played that back three in either game last season. I think either Dyer or Romero was out for both those games.
Yeah, Dyer was out for the home game.
I think Romero was out for the away game.
And also, Winks played both games, didn't he?
Winks definitely played I think Delhi played the game in St Mary's. I'm pretty sure Delhi started the game in St Mary's.
Am I not right in saying that Winks lost the ball on the edge of the area in that Southampton game in the away leg?
I think
I'm
in the
pretty
first
sure
game,
I remember that.
In the first game, it's true. I can't remember the away game. I think the first game, you're right. I'm pretty certain that Delhi started the one at St Mary's. Winks might well have started as well, but I'm pretty sure Delhi definitely started. So a lot has changed, is my point. So you can't look into those games from last season too much and make too many conclusions. All you can say is tactically, for sure, Southampton had a bit of an edge, but now we're a better team. So I'm looking forward at home. I think Southampton as well. Haven't had the best of summers, although they got Bazunu. We'll go through that team before.
You're right. It was Winks and Ali both played in that game.
Winks and Ali both played.
And Davinson Sanchez instead of Romero and Reguilon on the left, yeah.
So there you go. There's a lot of changes.
Yeah.
A lot of changes. So we're a much more settled team now. So I think we're a lot more confident as well. I know during those times, although Conte was... obviously we're excited to have him. We were still having some inconsistent results around those times as well. Now we've won 10 of our last 14 Premier League games. Southampton come here to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium not in a great way. So there's no reason not to be excited for this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, not only just because it's a game like this where we should be winning, which we didn't win either game last season, but it's just the start of the Premier League and such an exciting season for Spurs. I just think no Spurs fan can't be excited with the new season upon us like this. But in terms of Southampton specifically, if you bring up the predicted lineup for Southampton, you've got Livramento, Livramento and Walcott, who are definitely out. Teller, who's a doubt. Do you want to take us through the lineup?
Yeah, so, I mean, this is based on how they played in their last pre-season game. So you got the new signing Bazunu in goal. I think
good keeper, by the way.
Irish keeper from Man City.
Very highly rated.
Yeah, very highly rated.
He's already number one there for Ireland, I think.
Yeah, and Southampton have had a problem with keepers for a while, so they're looking hopefully to solve that problem with Bazunu, so he's obviously there. Walker Peters, he's still there, obviously a very good option at right back. You got Bednarek, you got this guy Bella Kotchap, or Ketchup, whatever you want to call him. I'm not sure. He's
Conte wouldn't have him in the team.
Yeah, exactly. Banning him. He's a new signing at centre back. They actually started Salisu at left back in their pre-season game.
Was Salisu the one that got sent off against us?
He did, but he also had a very good season. Yeah. You got Gineppo on the right, Aribo, Ward-Prowse and Redmond along the midfield, with Mara and Armstrong, Stuart Armstrong that is, up front. So I've only seen the lineup. I didn't quite see the formation. Judging by that, it actually could be a 4-5-1 because actually Redmond didn't start. They started a teenager in one who's a defensive midfielder. So it could actually be a 4-5-1 with Armstrong on the wing and then just Mara up front. But Mara as well, young player from Bordeaux. He scored 6 goals in Liga last season, and he's 20 years old striker. So they're hoping he's one that can maybe hit the ground running. And I think they've made some decent signings, but as well, Shea Adams is rumoured to leave. Walker Peters is subject to a lot of interest. So if they do lose a few, they might be in trouble. Southampton.
I got a feeling Walker Peters will end up staying, and to be honest, I think Walker Peters probably should stay for one more season, get another season of proper, consistent Premier League, because he had such a good season last year, didn't he? And I think that just have a repeat of that and get better he'll get better with more game time as well. And I think he's going to put in a performance his first game of the season. He's going to want to prove a point against us, that's for sure.
Also, they don't have Broja anymore, who was a fantastic. He played brilliantly when at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last season.
He did. I mean, Broja was very hit and miss last season, wasn't he? I mean, he performed very well against us, but there were still some games I was looking at him being like, you need to be doing more, man.
Yeah, but for his age, he's 19.
True.
I think for his age, he's more of a hit than a miss. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, you're probably right there. But in terms of who we really need to look out for, and that is James Ward-Prowse in the ones to watch. James Ward-Prowse loves a goal against Spurs. I think did he score in both legs last season?
No,
or
he
scored at
St Mary's.
2 assists, didn't he, in the last 10 minutes or something. So, I mean, this guy has got supreme ball-playing ability, free kicks, corners, shots from outside the area. This is the one that we really need to watch out for, isn't he?
Yeah, he's obviously the massive danger man. They've obviously done well to make sure that he's staying for this season. I think he's got supreme ability with the ball at his feet. You need to just make sure you close him down and give him no time, because you saw he didn't even have that much time when we lost at in the home game last season. He just had 2 first-time crosses, absolute peaches.
Literally carbon copies, wasn't it? A few minutes after the other.
Well, it wasn't even a case of like, oh, he had too much time. It was like he hit them both first time. He was just laid off first-time crosses with that whip he has. So we just got to make sure we're not giving away too many silly free kicks and set pieces and corners and stuff like that, because he's a massive threat. 4 goals from free kicks last season, which was more than anyone else in the Premier League. I think he's got 14 free kick goals in his career now. So he's catching up on David Beckham's record, which I think was about 20. So I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks that by the end of his career. But he's a real threat. I'd love him. I always said I thought he'd be brilliant at Spurs. I think he'd be perfect in terms of, if we're not looking for a playmaker, I think he actually has the work ethic of some of the players that we have right now. Plus, he has that set piece ability, which we're kind of lacking at the moment. We don't really have a player who's like who's a specialist at set pieces.
We've got Harry Kane. What do you mean?
Yeah, of course, I've got Harry Kane. Yeah, specialist in failure from set pieces, you could say.
Harry Kane and failure don't go in the same sentence. Come on.
When it comes to corners and free kicks, remember those corners at the Euros in 2016? One of the worst corners.
Yeah, I don't blame Kane for that. I blame Roy Hodgson for that. That was just terrible.
He still took bad corners.
Yeah, he did take bad corners, but he should never have been on them.
No, he should never have been on them. Well, he should never be on free kicks either.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, he's a supreme talent, and he's one for sure. If we can keep Ward-Prowse quiet, I think that goes a long way to make sure Southampton don't score.
And how do you assess their new signing, Aribo from Rangers? 8 goals, 6 assists in the Scottish Premier League last season. Helps Rangers get to the Europa League final. So how do you assess him? Have you seen much of him?
I think it's a solid signing.
Is he a striker? Where's he playing?
No, he's centre mid.
Okay.
He's a central midfielder, and he's actually a bit of an all-action central midfielder as well. He's quite good he's quite aggressive and intense in his defensive work, but he's also goes and as you can see, he's scored 8 goals and 6 assists. So he actually gets involved on both ends of the pitch. He scored an absolutely beautiful goal in pre-season. I don't know if you saw it against Villarreal. He dribbled past about 3 or 4 players and slotted it home calmly, a bit of composed finish as well. So 26 years of age, Southampton might have done quite well in their scouting department with this signing, with Joe Aribo from Rangers. So I think they've done quite well there, getting him through the door. And maybe, look, obviously it's only at Rangers, so we don't know if his SPL form will transfer to the Premier League, but definitely if he can keep up some of the standards he was playing in the SPL, Southampton can have a real player in there in the central midfield. Could be a very good signing.
Do you think, I was just thinking about this now, do you think that, obviously Fraser Forster was number 1 there for a lot of last season. You got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg as well, who used to be Southampton captain. Do you think that can help Spurs in any way? Do you think Antonio Conte or the manager, whoever it may be at the time, will be going to these players and seeing what they're all about, or do you think Conte will just stick to his guns and thinks what he knows and go with his own tactics without any info?
I think you have to take all the info you can get. So I definitely think he'll be chatting to Højbjerg and Forster about maybe what he thinks of this player or that player. How do you go about stopping this player? But I don't think there's going to be too much emphasis on it. I don't think they're going to spend, training sessions listening to Forster and Højbjerg. But I do think
Forster's not going to be taking training. What do you mean?
But I do think for sure Conte will definitely, if he needs to know any information, will be definitely communicating with them. So that could definitely help. But I wouldn't say it's going to be make a massive difference.
All right. Well, that is the match preview. Before we move on, first of all, by the way, predicted lineup is coming your way very soon, so don't you worry about that. What is your score prediction coming into this one?
3-0 Spurs.
3-0.
I think we're a much settled side at the moment. I think Southampton have had a decent summer, but I still think there's going to have some signings to settle in, and I think that a few of their good bet like with Broja gone, I don't know where the firepower is coming from at the moment. I think if we go about stopping Ward-Prowse, we should be able to keep a clean sheet, and I think our forward players are looking sharp right now. And I think under Conte, I think we're looking like we want to achieve big things this season. So I'm going for a strong start to the season, 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going for a strong start as well, just a bit slightly less strong than yours. I'm going for 2-0. I think the lineup that we're going to play is probably going to be very similar to what we ended off the season with last season. And I think that should be more than enough to have a convincing victory this weekend. And I'm backing Kane as well to have a very strong start to the season. I'm going for Kane at the double this weekend in a 2-0 win. So I want to know your score predictions in the comment section below. I want to know how...
Kane?
FPL? Yeah. No spoilers, mate. No, I'm joking. I've Captain Kane. Yeah, I have Captain Kane. But I want to know your score predictions in the comment section below. And if you want to join our FPL as well, the link, or not the link, but the code to join is in the comments, is in the description below. And just before we take callers, and if you want to call in, the link is in the community section. Let's talk about this amazing game, Betmate, which is a fantasy league betting app, and it's really fun to play. If you played it along with us last season, you'll know all about it. But they do games for specific, they do leagues for specific games. So the first one coming up is obviously Tottenham against Southampton. It's a £3 entry, and there's a £200 minimum payout. And also we've got a code where you can get a free £5 so you can play completely for free this weekend. So, I mean, how much fun are you having playing this game?
Yeah, we teamed up with Betmate last season, and it was a lot of fun. You play individual, you create your own little team, 5-a-side team, not 5-a-side, 4, 5, 7-a-side team for each individual game. And when doing that, it's only a small outlay as well. You're only paying £1 or £2, and the winner of the whole league takes the pot. Things come into account with defensive things like tackles, interceptions. Not only do you get points for that, you get points for goals and assists. So your football knowledge really comes into play when you're playing Betmate. And I for one have enjoyed it so much. Let's want to look at our teams. What we've gone for this week.
Just before we look into our teams in this specific league for the Tottenham Southampton game this weekend, like I said, it is a £3 entry, but you can get a free entry if you use our promo code, which is in the description below.
It's on screen right now.
And it's also on screen. And the top 4 players from the league this week get paid. And fourth will get 10%, third will get 11%, second will get 18%, and top will get 35%. So a lot of money up for grabs this weekend. And yeah, let's get into it. And I think this is my team, so let me go through my team first for you guys. And in goal, I've gone for Hugo Lloris. I think he's going to keep a clean sheet this weekend. So I've gone for Lloris. But it's also worth sometimes going for the keeper for the team that's going to have the most shots against them, because you get a lot of points for like saves from
every
keepers.
Save you get a point.
Exactly.
So it's a bit different to FPL scoring. So definitely worth a lot of the time having the keeper from the opposition team. If you believe that both teams might concede, then it's definitely worth having a keeper who's going to make the most saves.
A more defensive team, yeah. In my defence, I've got Cuti Romero and Kyle Walker-Peters. I've gone for Romero because he's always making interceptions, he's always making challenges, and as well, he can help up top as well. It's not beyond all realms of possibility. He can pop up with a goal or an assist, Cuti Romero. Kyle Walker-Peters I've gone for because I think he's going to have a point to prove against Tottenham first and foremost, and I think we're going to be attacking them a lot, so he can make a lot of interceptions and tackles as well. And Kyle Walker-Peters. In my midfield, I've gone for Kulusevski and Rodrigo Bentancur. Bentancur as well makes a lot of interceptions. I mean, I couldn't decide whether Bentancur and Højbjerg, but I went for Bentancur. But now thinking about it, I might change it to Højbjerg, to be honest. But they make a lot of interceptions and tackles in the midfield. Kulusevski, he's a danger man, a very creative player, can easily pop up with a goal or assist, and he as well makes his fair share of interceptions and tackles. And obviously up top, I've got Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. I think no description is really needed there.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously you get a captain pick and a vice captain pick as well. So a captain gets double points and the vice captain gets times 1.5 points as well. Take a look at my team. It's fairly similar, except...
Hey, how come you got a nice little picture there? Where's my picture? Is it because you won that £200 pot that time? Is that why? Yeah?
Have you won a pot yet?
I've not a full pot. I've had like shares of pots.
I see. So when you come back to me when you want a pot. So you got Lloris in goal. Yeah, which obviously I think he's going to keep a clean sheet, so I've got him in there. Romero, because I know he's guaranteed to start. I have Perisic at the moment, although there are rumours that he isn't going to start the first game of the weekend, of the season, sorry. So I am feeling I might change it last minute. You can change, by the way, your team up to 5 minutes before kickoff. So any changes in the lineup, you can wait till the team lineups come up and change your team, which is really good. I've got Aribo, who's making his debut for Southampton, so I think he's going to be up for it and make a lot of challenges. And then I've got Kulusevski, Kane captain, and Son. So obviously, hopefully those three will link up together for lots of goals and assists. So looking forward to the first game. So obviously, it's our first private pot of the season. It's guaranteed £200 to win, only £3 to enter with the code WeAreTottenhamTV, WATTV1. And then if you want to click the code WATTV5, which is on screen right now, you get free £5. So you get a free game pretty much for the start of the season. So,
but let me just remind you that promo code is only for new users.
Yes.
So if you're not a user, when you're signing up, make sure to use that code so you do get your free £5.
Yeah, and they've got games for every single game this season, so it's so much fun to play. And there's only little small. The games can be free and also, as little as £1 to play. So it's a lot of fun. So go check it out.
Yeah. So not only can you win money, but you could also go against us because we're in the leagues as well. So very much looking forward to taking you guys on. All the links are in the description below. So the link to download the app is in the description, and all the promo codes that you need for the free £5 and the league code as well, all in the description below. So looking forward to taking you all on this weekend. But we are going to start taking some call-ins. So if you want to come and have your say on the game this weekend or the season ahead, come and join us. The link is open to gold members. Apparently no one is waiting as of yet, but so maybe we'll open it to silver as well. But yeah, come and join us. And Tinius Van Zyl is saying, is Ben and Sib actually in the FPL League?
You're damn right.
Yes, we are indeed, and we're looking forward to absolutely smashing all of you at FPL this season. Really are. I've chopped and changed my team so many times. I mean, I don't even know where I stand on it anymore. And I always feel like people make so much out of doing their team for the first week, and it literally doesn't matter because it's literally one game week out of 38. So I'm looking forward to taking you all on this weekend. So also the code for the FPL is in the description as well, so come and join us on FPL. A lot of games happening this weekend, a lot of games happening throughout the season. So I, for one, are very excited to take you all on.
And we're going to have weekly checks of the league live on screen as well. So whoever's top of the league at any given time, we're going to be looking at their team and live on stream. And obviously we're going to have me versus my brother as well. We're going to be having having checks on who's winning in the FPL league between us. So
all the best teams and all the worst teams will be having a look at. So if you are not such a great FPL player, you still might be brought up on the streams, as we'll be looking at your team, that's for sure.